Hey there, lads and lasses. This here, of course, is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States here on a Friday. It is a little bit past 11 a.m. And that can only mean that it's time for some Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. Before I get too far into the stream, before we get started, happy Friday, Slancha. Finishing up my Trooper Ale. Son Kachi, who is a huge Iron Maiden fan, unironically, was blown away when I brought that stuff home. Slancha indeed. Okay, let's see. Well, I'd like to welcome in my fellow buffoons, Real Foolish Sage and Angel by You. You can see the auto shoutouts up there for each of them, and of course, Pandemonium of Parrots. And there's Dora. You've bought Iron Maiden wine before. I haven't drank any Iron Maiden alcohol, but I have seen them live several times. Ugh. One of my favorite bands of all time. I still have my 1983 wall poster, Iron Maiden wall poster from that time. Kachi says he wants that in the worst way, and I'm like, nope, I'm not dead yet. A nice Rain in Blood Cabaret Sauvignon. Yeah, they're in my top 5 at least, and they're so good live. Oh, they've really become the live band, haven't they? Steve Harris is one of my bass heroes. Of my influences in bass, there's Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, and there's Bob Daisley, particularly his work on the 2 Ozzy albums, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. Then there's some others that influenced me a little bit. Bernard Edwards and Jaco Pastorius a little bit, but mainly those 2. And there's Jeppo. I walked in at not dead yet. Are we doing Monty Python sketch? Nope, not dead yet, not quite. Welcome on in, Jeppo. Pining for the fjords. All right, let's not turn the stream into an annoying Monty Python quoting session. That used to be a really cool thing to do, and now it's just like annoying. Like people would have entire conversations with just them shouting Monty Python lines at each other, and everybody else is just looking. Especially the Gen Zers are like, what are they? I have my favorite Monty Python sketches. Of course I do. I am well versed in Monty Python. I just try my best to resist. But don't be surprised if some of those find their way into a video redeem. I'd still be interested. Oh, yeah, we certainly would, right? I mean, oh, parrots. Oh, parrots. It's just that the Monty Python is just... and Python didn't really run for that long, actually. I think there's, what, three seasons of it? Yeah, and even the last season was without John Cleese, I think, so... many years ago, I saw a language learning app which would include every language. I missed over that. Somehow. I'm scrolling back to try to find it. And I can't. There it is. My hovercraft is full of eels. Oh, that was a good one. I remember that sketch. I remember a lot of those. A lot of my humor comes from that. It's just silliness with language. It's so funny. I would say that one of their main comedic features is taking something like small and silly and then just like blowing it up on a huge scale, like the hide and seek Olympics, for example. Like, what if a game hide and seek, what if that were like a featured sport in the Olympics? It's just hilarious. They would take something small like that and just blow it up into this ridiculous level. And then they would do the reverse. They'd take something super, super, big and important and just reduce it down to this like silly little thing. It's just, yeah. I recently received a Kickstarter of Monty Python's Curricula Medieval Reenactment. I think you've spoken about this before, which is clearly states is not a tabletop RPG. I spent way too much. Cheska. Welcome on in, Cheska. Watch streak. 10 stream streak. Only 10. Welcome on in, a fellow buffoon, Cheska's genie. I think for Sage that was worth it. Probably for a few of us that would be worth it. Sage, I think I remember you speaking about this. Probably way back when we were on the community server together. Oh well, today's Friday. I'm doing a little of the ale today. Jeppo, I'm not that predictable. Thank you very much. Jeppo, what's the air quality rating right now over at your place? Have you developed a color scale, or? Yeah, well, I don't drink the ale out of a beaker. It's always a pint glass, always, and it's always a standard pint glass. Yeah, and the beaker I've given way to the mason jar. Just I like the beaker better because it's just quirkier and nerdier and weirder and more a little bit more mathy. But they're very fragile. Mrs. Thunderhand has broken like two of them already, and it's like, please just let me wash them. I'll just. But she insists, and they always wind up breaking. The mason jars are a little bit sturdier, so yeah. But if it's ale, it's always a pint glass, always unconditionally. Well, you can go for the neck oil, and that was a fun glass. Now it is 8 p.m. You're smoking from 7:08 to 7:20. At which point they elephanted back upstairs and then smoked, and the smoke lingered. Oh, I'm sorry. I still say your Discord should have like an air quality channel on it, and you should have the different. It's starting to clear now. Oh, Jeppo, Jeppo, Jeppo. My heart goes out to you. Let's do this. Uh-oh. Oh, have I not updated the display on this? Probably not. All right, let's do this. The Discord channel would be welcome to my personal G double yes. Or however that's supposed to be typed. Oh, hey, Skip's in there too. Hey there, Skip. Let's set our status. Let's do that. And then I'll fix the display in just a moment. Let's do that. Get into this. I just need to update the link on that. In fact, I should be able to do that right over here. That should be right down here. There we go. Let's do this and this. Copy the link. There we go. Close that out. And get into this. And there it is. Hey, we know how to stream. We've only been streaming for like 5 years now, but actually going on our 6th year. Weird. Anywho, I'm off to get some food. Tried to nap between this one. Enjoy your dinner, Jeppo. But you had way too much on the monitor there for a bit. You think? Might see you in a bit, or else next time. Okay, all right. Appreciate the lurk. Happy stream. Thank you. And it shall be a happy stream. What I have decided to do for today's stream, the buffoons, we're a little bit anxious for tomorrow. I wouldn't say anxious. I would say more like excited. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is the launch of Buffoon Skies 2, our limited mini-series where we play in a skyblock kind of world, and there's lore and all kinds of craziness, many deaths. Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. It'll run for about 6 weeks. Many of the buffoons shall be streaming it, so please watch. I shall not be streaming it. I like the buffoons to be able to relax and speak as they will, because there's a lot of interaction with those Buffoon Skies events. And so I want the buffoons to be able to relax with their language. And so I will be recording it. And if I get good enough footage, I will publish videos. I tried to do that for Buffoon Skies 1 the year before. And most of my footage turned out to be just me standing in front of a cobblestone generator almost all the time. So I don't know. I think this time I'll make a concerted effort to cut down that amount of time. And instead of thinking of making daily videos of it, maybe I think I'll just do one video for each week, and I'll just composite together footage from throughout the week. So I think I'll do it that way instead. There will be a lot of bad language while starting up. Yeah, I'm sure. My bad. Not Angel's bad. Stop that, Angel. Angel was my teammate for the first Buffoon Skies Season 1, and a super, super awesome teammate. I was very, very pleased. Angel and I did a lot of cool stuff on that server. Angel and I built a huge copper tree on that server. And it was completely wacky and insane looking. It was so cool. Been watching Cobblestone making videos. Yes. So one of the things is even us more seasoned Minecraft players always screw up our cobblestone generator all the time. And we make a one-shot obsidian generator instead. So yeah, Angel and I made a really cool island out there, and cool structures on it. We had cool mob pets and stuff. It was so much fun. So much fun. So many of the buffoons are participating for this. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But that being said, I mean, we have to gear up with the branding, the graphics, the overlays, and stuff like that. I've pretty much got mine all set. Then I have to make an instance for it and do a couple of other things. But my point is, I haven't really been doing much Buffooncraft-wise. I tried to get with Nova to set my my video settings here so I can get a better look and stuff, but he's a little bit too busy this week, so he wasn't able to do that. But I'm usually pretty good with that. Once I get it down, then I record it, and then I'm good for all time. It's just that so much of this, these video settings and stuff have changed, and mine are a little bit outdated, so you know, I would like things to look a little bit better so I can get better screenshots. That's all. Performance-wise, I know how to do that. But, you know, it's always a compromise between performance and then, you know, quality. So performance-wise, I think I'm doing okay with just Minecraft. So I'd really like to get more quality visuals with the, like, complementary shaders and things like that. And, you know, get my render settings better and the fog and the particles and all that stuff a little bit better. And it's just faster if somebody already does that. I think Nova's got a really good look for his. So I was just hoping to get some pointers off of him. So just to make it quicker. But he's a little busy, so I'll have to figure it out. But I think I can get it. I think I can get it down. But we haven't been doing much, at least I haven't been doing that much on Buffooncraft lately because I've been prepping for that. So what we need to do is we need to do a little bit of work on our Fomorian sea giant because I really want to finish this up, and I really need to do this island. I really do. And so we have a few things we have to do on this. We're down to 2 main stages left for this. We have to do a little bit of the terraforming around here. We have to make the hole through which he's crawling up and out of, right? And I was thinking of going for more like a natural kind of subsurface pit down there for him to crawl out of. But, you know, I can't really get my head around that, how I want to do that. So I'm going to go more with a man-made structure, and it fits with my little lore for this island. My concern is I'm going to have to build more of his body downward, but that's okay. I still have the schematics for that. I really don't want to because I'd really rather just build less of the giant as possible because that's the harder thing to do. But I think to make it look the way I want it to look, I'm going to have to continue the body downward a little bit, down into the hole. Again, not really that big of a deal. And those, you know, subsurface parts of the body don't really have to be that detailed. So, yeah, it won't be that big of a deal. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. So today, I think we'll sketch out where the containment pit is going to be around him. We can do that today. And I'm thinking of using the tough blocks for that. Tough and stone, I'm thinking. Just for a little bit of contrast. I would like to try to keep with the block palette that I have for the builds, but it's just not going to look good down there. And this is more architectural, where that, you know, I was thinking more like the black stone and the deep slate down there maybe, but I'm thinking the water is already kind of dark and it's probably not going to show, you know, so we can experiment with some blocks, but I'm thinking tough and stone is going to be the way to go there. So we can do that. I have a whole bunch of junk in my junk collection here. Let's do this. Please, just. Let's go, Nemo. Look, up and out we go. Come on, come on. You can do it. There you go. Let's go, buddy. Okay. All right, so let's do a couple of things here. Let's secure our friend here. There we go. We'll do the sleeping thing. I think the sun's going down right now. Come on. Please, would you just let me sleep? And particularly before Sage does. There we go. Okay, let's have a quick flyabout. Good, there we go. You can sleep so Sage can keep digging. That's the plan, buddy. We cover each other. All right, speaking of that kind of stuff, could you... Come on down here. Come on down here. Ha! Gotcha. Let's do this. All right. You know, I think I can finally take the scaffolding down. Well, I don't know. We're going to... Well, we do have the happy gas, though. Yeah, we don't need this. We can take this down. This was from pre-happy gas days. So we'll be taking that down. So... let's get over here. I can't, you know, I always say it when I look at this. I am pleased with the way that this came out, but it came out way scarier looking than I intended. It's supposed to look cool and scary, but it's also supposed to be a little cartoony and stuff. And it's not cartoony at all. It's terrifying looking. So what I'm thinking of is just having beneath the water right here, like some sort of circular pit edge, that goes downward, and it is not going to do something like go all the way down to bedrock or anything. It'll just go down far enough where, black concrete will obscure the bottom, so you can't really see it. And then, and then I'll have to extend his body down a little bit, I'm thinking. But, you can see the gravel through there, the lighter color. Right? And so that's what makes me think that that's going to be, that the tuff and the stone will be good colors to use there. And then we'll decorate it with some sea growth, like, we'll, better distribute the seagrass and the kelp and stuff around it. I'm back. I was inhaling Chinese food. Are you excited for tomorrow? Oh, yes, yes. I've been stating so while you were away inhaling your Chinese food. I was exhaling my excitement about Buffoon Skies tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think I'll be available for the launch at 11 a.m. My time, Pacific Standard Time. Kachi has a mandatory parent meeting at his school tomorrow, and Mrs. Thunderhand has to work, so I will be there. If Mrs. Thunderhand gets put on call, she'll cover for me, and maybe I'll be able to launch with you guys right at the beginning. If not, then I'll have to join you guys a couple hours later. I'm partnering up with Nova for this Buffoon Skies season, and so I've already sent him the message. Do not mess up that cobblestone generator, Mr. Relic. All right, so we need to plot out where this is going to be here. So let's do that, and we'll take this down at the same time. So still waiting for someone to say if it would be okay to play with cobblestone generators today. Why would it not? Skip. Gastonio. Okay, we'll start by ripping that down, and then we'll use our mini HUD, and we'll sketch out a circle. Decide where we want to go. Yeah, Skip, as far as practicing goes, like on another server, like this server or something, to get ready. Yeah, absolutely. I've been in my testing world laying out all of the basic farms and stuff so I can hit the ground running tomorrow. Let's get, what? No hatchet. Wow, my inventory is really weird looking. What was I doing the last time I was on? Be right back, running to the shop. As I was drawing forth my my pint of Trooper, I was lamenting on how I miss my Belhaven Scottish Ale. I haven't had that in a long time. And it's because I can't get it here. I have to travel to a nearby town to go pick it up, which is not so nearby, but it's not that far away. But it used to be very local. There's a chain here called Bevmo, Beverages and More. And I used to get all my stuff from them. But, and they had all of my ales from the Isles. Oh, don't sweat. Don't worry about that. Skip, you're fine. But I used to get all my ales from there, and they used to have the really good ones there too. But I guess there's not a lot of people of my type here to justify keeping that stuff in stock, and so Yeah, so they've stopped carrying a lot of stuff. They still have Guinness, but yeah, a lot of the other stuff they do not. And Belhaven's one of the sacrifices they had to make. So, but there's a town not too far over from us, and baby. But there's a town not too far over from us, and I can go pick it up there. So I think I'll be doing that today. Probably on the way back from Kachi's school, I think I'll grab that. Or maybe on the way over, on the way back, we'll see. Efficiency 5. Yeah, this is the one I want. Let's set up our toolbox here. You know what? I think I was helping to dig out Dora's place the last time I was on. Thunder's Tools 2, Thunder's Tools 1. And I think that's why my inventory is a little weirder than usual. So we can put these here. Here's my non-silk touch one I use for detailing. Good, we'll keep that. We'll keep that. You know what's weird though is I don't have my hatchet. Where did that go to? Concrete, shulker, deep slate tough, oak shears. Could it be in here? Yeah, there we go. Some just general goodies here. I don't know why I bother carrying that nowadays. I hardly ever use it. Usually do that. Usually keep some of these in here. This has to go back in the chest. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh, God. All right. That's looking a little better. So we should have a lot of tuff here. And then we should have, we're going to need a mason block. A mason block, a stone cutter. That's what we're going to need. So that might be in my basic kit. My basic kit. Yeah, come on, I know I'm looking right at it. Please, brain. There we go. Done. Okay, cool. Basic kit. Let's go put that back in the old. Done and done. Cool. Usually I have to keep that guy right there. And this, yeah, I don't need that. If I have the axe, I don't really need the sword on me. Let's do this. We'll put that over there, and like this maybe right here, and we should be good. Yeah, I'm digging it. Okay, so we need a whole bunch of tuff. Let's start with that first, and just as the doctor ordered. Let's go start with some tough bricks. We're also going to need some stone too. And I'll tell you what. We know we're going to use a lot of these, so let's just let's start off immediately with like 2 stacks, just like that. All right, now let's get to the central part, and we will locate the origin of our circular pit. And then we'll go up top side and we'll have a look. And we'll see how big we want it to be. I think my little access hatch is right here. And here's our conduit. Oh, well. Okay, no, we're good. All right, so let us access the mini HUD. And we'll just use this one here. Configure. And set here, blocks out, quads, full block, radius. Let's just bring the radius like right out to 30 or something. Let's make it super huge so we can see it. Let's see. Shape so should be good. Okay, and then H, as the Brits like to say. And that might be actually pretty good the way it is. Let's bring it above the surface, though, just for now. It's going to be down there on the ocean floor, but let's bring it up to here for now, just so we can see it from above. Because it's a weird thing. Once you go above, you won't be able to see it under the water. So it's got to be above 63, like that. So you can't see the render. And let's jump back on Gastonio here, and we'll look at it from above. Try to get a decent view. Well, that sucked. Now that's going to be an overthrow, I'm thinking. No, that was actually pretty good. What do you know? Let's keep those right there. Let's go, buddy. No. You need to. What are you doing? No, get. Okay, so the idea is to do something like this, and we'll view this from on high. And Jeannie's saying, okay, I gotta go make dinner. Dinner! I'm actually gonna cook. Wild, right? Oh, God. Ingredients list, tools list. Fire extinguisher right at the top. Okay, this is a little too small, right? So, but the edge is probably going to come right up to where his hand is, because he needs to be like pushing himself up through the hole, so the edge can't really exceed his hand there. So let's do that. I'm thinking prime numbers right off the bat, so how about 37? And it should be odd so it's centered correctly. That's not bad. It could be a little bit bigger. So let me see. Where's the next prime in the list of primes? 37, 38, 39, 40. It'd be 41, right? 41's the next prime. So well, we still have quite a ways to go. See, the edge of his hand would be there. Now you got to picture that on the ocean floor, and then he's climbing up and out of it. I really don't want it to be too much bigger than that, though. I'm thinking, what, maybe 40? Would 43 make the difference? It's either 43 or 47. I think it's going to wind up being 47. Let me see. 4 plus 7 is 11. Not divisible by 3. Not even divisible by 2. Not by 4. Not by 5. Not by 6. Not by 7. Not by 8. What would square? What's the nearest perfect square of 47? 49, right? 7. So we're clear. We're good. Yeah, so again, you know, the edge would be right there next to his hand. So we're right about here. We can go over a few more blocks, I think. I think that's going to be perfect right there. It is very big, but, you know, it has to be able to contain a giant. So, wait, we're doing math? I'm out. No, do not leave. Come on now. Angel, it's been like 4 or 5 years now. Come on, please. You should know better by now. It's safe as let Mr. Thunderhand be your guide. I will protect you from the evil math. This monster, that's amazing. Oh, thank you. Wait till you see the eyes. So we have two things we need to do. We need to make the environment around him with the hole that's imprisoning him, right? And then the very last thing we need to do is we need to put in the eyes. The eyes have to go in last because once we put the eyes in, we won't be able to do anything else in this area. So, all right, I'm going to go with this. And we're not going to go underwater with Gastonio 2 because that's why there is a Gastonio 2. Poor Gastonio 1. He drowned. Yeah, the marshmallow mobs, they're very fragile. Uh-oh, rip. Yeah, indeed. It was weird because I was hovering above the surface of the water as I was working and placing blocks, but I think I was just a little too low, but you can't really tell until, of course, they die, right? Okay, so I think this is the level at which I want to build right here. This is where his hand is, so it makes sense, right, that it's going to be right here. Right, so let's bring this down. Let's see, down to, what is it, 45 maybe? Like that. And so this is where the edge of the circle is going to be, the pit. And so we'll have a little digging out to do, like right around here. But let's start slapping down some blocks. And we're probably going to need the detailing pickaxe for this, because we need some precision. Like this. And then, let me see here. Excuse me. Let's do this. I think our cold, wet weather, or I should say cool, wet weather is at an end and the heat's returning. We need to get rid of this. I forgot how I got rid of this feature when I did this. Let's do this. Block snap, center, full block, corner, axis up. Was it combined quads? No. Oh, I think I needed to make the radius fractional. Yeah, that's what I needed to do. Okay, and that takes care of that. Good. Yeah, and it changes it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Bless you. Got him, I'll get. Thanks. Yeah, so the air's getting dry and dusty again. But it's cool. We've had a very cool, wet winter. We got so much snowfall. We still have a lot of snow on the mountains up there. Sketch out the circle, and we'll make this circle so many blocks wide, I'm thinking. Let's try to do this. I'm thinking at the very least 3, maybe 5. So, missing the mega amounts of snow I used to get in the UP. Not! Well, that's the nice thing about snow here. Like, I used to live in New Hampshire, so we get clobbered by snow. But snow here is nice because I can look at it up there on the mountain. And you know, if I want to go play in it, fine. But then when I've had enough, I can just come down here to the valley floor and I'm good. I don't really have to deal with it. And that's nice. That's the best case scenario. I am missing up north, but can do without the insane amounts of snow they get. Skiing! Yeah, we like to do the snowboarding and all that stuff. That's fun. But, you know, I'm too old to be out there, like, shoveling snow. And, you know, we, like, when you live in New Hampshire, like, you really need something like a backhoe or a tractor or something like that because the snow is so intense there. I think we're going to have to do some digging here. All right, we're going to have to do this. Yeah, let's lay down what we have first on this level, and then we'll do some digging out here. We'll just go collect this stuff after. I know I'm digging sand with a pickaxe. I know. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Agreed. Yeah, I think they just got bombarded in New Hampshire. Yeah, they did. My brother was sending my sons, his nephews, back pictures of him plowing out his driveway with his backhoe. And Kachi was looking at him doing that. There's some video of that. And Kachi's like, "You mean the city sent a tractor to clear the road in front of you know, our uncle's house?" And I'm like, first of all, that's not a road, that's his driveway. Second of all, that's not the city's tractor, that's his. So he has a backhoe, technically. It's not really a tractor, but it's a backhoe. Because there ain't nothing like that up here in, or down here in SoCal. Up on the mountain there is, though. Up on the mountain, it's very much, it's Big Bear Mountain up there has an elevation of about maybe 8,000 feet. So they do get quite a bit of snow up there, and it's very much like home up there. So I'm very used to that environment up there. I would go and I would actually move there to live there instead of down here on the valley floor, but it's just too dangerous to live up there with the wildfires and stuff. There's a lot of wildfires there. And, you know, if I didn't have to drive up and down the mountain so frequently, I would do that. They still, Big Bear Lake, Big Bear Lake City up there and stuff. It's still a pretty big city. They've got a lot of stuff up there, so you don't have to come down off the mountain a lot, especially now that I'm retired. But it's just the wear and tear on the vehicles is really big, especially the brakes, the braking system. And you get a lot of tourists up there who do not know how to drive in those kind of conditions. And so it's super dangerous. Yeah, the wildfires are unfortunate. Yeah, and there's quite frequently, you know, those national parks up there are ablaze. You know what? We're going to need a lot of this, so let's just do this. Otherwise, I would love to live up there. That's more of my kind of climate up there. I've been here since 2003, and I still never really acclimated. My body just isn't built for this. And, you know, I thought as I got older, you know, I would need the warmer, drier weather more. Because even us New Englanders, you know, a lot of us move to Florida when we get old. Or I guess nowadays it's more like Arizona is the place for old people to move, but from the Northeast. But no, I still can't handle it. I still need it cold. This is good. We're getting this into place now. And I think I'm just going to sketch this out or just establish this shape with the tuff first. And then we'll texture it. We'll add in the stone. We'll add in different types of tuff and stuff. We'll texture it after. But I just want to get the look of it with the tuff first. Just get the shape and the size and the shape of it. There we go. Me and heat do not get along. Keep my house at 64 in the winter. I can't quite keep my house that cool in the winter. Mrs. Thunderhand will die. We're from very opposite kinds of places. I'm from a subarctic zone. She's from a subtropical zone. But we compromise. We keep it around maybe 70, right around there. Sometimes it'll get up to 72, but that's a little too warm. Kachi, my sons will start complaining. So let us bring this up to these levels so we can carve out these bits. I think I need to go up by about 4 blocks. Right about there. There we go. I'm cold at 64, so I bundle up. Well, it's kind of nice to have it cooler, right? I mean, if it's cool, you can do something about it, right? You can put on a sweater, you can do something. If it's hot, you really can't do much about that. I mean, you can only take off so much, you know what I mean? So... mining stone underwater. This reminds me so much of Season 4. I'm telling you, Season 4 Buffooncraft was insane. I think we really peaked at Season 4. I mean, we've done some very cool things in Season 5 and here in Season 6. Season 4 was definitely a milestone, at least in building. Now, I would set up an extra beacon down here for Haste 2, but I think we're doing okay. We really don't have to do that much mining, so we'll be fine. Yeah, the annoying thing about this is if you push forward twice successively, hit W twice, you do that, and you go into swim mode, and it's super annoying. Super annoying. So you have to mine, forward, mine, forward, mine, like this. You can't just inch along block by block. Exactly. Okay, is gonna chop up some veggies. Those poor veggies. Enjoy the vegetation. How am I doing for time right here? We have about 5 minutes before we're ready for break anyway. Hawk. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I made some homemade butter mints yesterday for the first time. Oh, homemade butter mints. They turn out so good. Pics. We demand pics in the food channel. If there are any left. Fuck. What am I doing here? 11:56. Huh? Okay. You know what? Maybe I will set up the beacon. This looks like a little bit more than I was ready to. Yeah, maybe I will set up a beacon here. This is going a little too slowly for my fancy, if you don't mind. I'm flat out of patience for this already. Let's do this. We'll quickly slap down some blocks, and I think... well, actually, I can't even do that because of that, right? Yeah. Yeah. I can over here, though. Yeah, I can go get this pot right here. I can go get this. And I think I did what? I set this down to... just like that? Oh, no. Completely wrong direction. Like this. We're down here in the 40s, I think. It was right there. That's where we need to be. Yep. So I can just put in that curve, and then we'll break. Let's get that. Fuck with the seaweed. Let's take that out of there for right now. The kelp. Excuse me. Air is very, very dry today. Let's do that. We'll at least get over to that part of the platform, then we'll be good. Making some homemade fruit bars today. Oh, nice. They've been in the oven for 7 hours now, dehydrating away. I may have made them too thick. You know, have food channel. I think you were supposed to make one last time I talked about food. Plopped into your general chat. Oh, nice. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I guess I should, right? Like that. Let's go grab that. We will do that and that. And then we can just sketch this out. We missed this part before, right? We'll do this and this. We'll do that, that. And we can get right over to there. And then I think we'll break. Let's just do the easy stuff here. Okay, that's good. I think we shall break here, people. Yeah, see? It's all rainy and dismal and stuff, so... It's already in place right there. Right over there. Yeah. All right. What? Did Sage dispel those dismal conditions? He may have, yeah. Okay, good. Plopped into general chat. Showcase some of the Mrs. Meals. No. My meals, maybe. Hers, though, no. She will not permit that. I have to say, though, that she's learned to cook, though, over the last, like, 4 years or so. Mostly out of desperation, because she doesn't like my cooking, but... And she's come quite a ways, actually. When I first met her, the woman could burn water, I swear. But, she's gotten a lot better. Yeah. That I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm not like a really good cook or anything, but I can cook some stuff. Most of my cooking's for the holidays and stuff, so. Well, I'm a Irish and Scottish New Englander, you know, so all the men there can cook, you know, because we're all factory workers, and so the families always work in shifts, first shift, second shift, third shift, and so, you know, mom's not always there to cook, you know, and so, you know, you have a family of 5 kids, you know, 7 people total. You know, we all got to take turns doing laundry, doing cooking, doing, you know, switch off, because otherwise you'll starve. So, but yeah, all the dudes there know how to cook. All right, let's do this. Let's run a quick ad break for about 3 minutes, and then we will be right back. Break time, indeed. Okay, and here we are. We're back. All right, so we were sketching out the ring here, and we were going to set up. We were going to set up our beacon. That's what we need to do. Welcome back. Thank you. Let's get rid of a lot of this junk, shall we? I think we're going to have to empty out some shulkers here pretty soon. All right, let's set up a beacon. That should be in here. We'll do that. We're going to need this, and this, and one of these, I'm thinking. At the very least. And I'm going to set it up, like, right in the middle. So we get the combination of the conduit and the beacon. I don't want to break my scaffolding, so let's set it up underneath. Right, we're going to need about 4 levels down. Oh, if I do that, though, it's not going to shine up through. You know what? Let's just put it close. So let's do this. I just don't want to break my scaffolding. We will... Let's just put it here like this. We'll go... like this. Like that. Like that. Hook, hands, settle down, do as you're told. Hook, what the heck? Did I grab a snow block out of what is that doing in there? My eyes, people. Switch out. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Let's do this. Tools 1 like that. That's redstone. Thunder's tools 1. Let's try this again. Oh, is it back out there? Oh my God! Please. You're dehydrated. It is over 70% water. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Yeah, I think I left my shellka right out here. For God's sake, Thunder. Please. Gee, I wonder why it builds so slow. Might have something to do with it. Yeah, there it is. There you are, right there, right where I left you. Yeah, we don't have any more iron blocks either, so luckily, I know a guy who has the coolest iron farm on the server. Bit of a not so humble brag there. But not unfounded. Come here, buddy. Well, I suppose it's time again to do that. So, we should actually let the night go for a little bit so the villagers over there have a chance to sleep. Yeah, we're out of render distance for the mobs, but all they need to do is just lay down to rest for just a moment. They should already be snug in their little beds. And then be terrified and awakened by our drowned up there. Bubbles. Sleep is for the weak. It's weird. I thought that since I'm retired, I would get more sleep and stuff now that I'm retired. But no, it's about the same. That's my default state. Did I just rip up the bed? Why did I do that? I'm not going anywhere with it. Okay, that's plenty of time to sleep. Nope, denied. But also, you know, I feel I don't really need as much because there's less stress. Come on, dude. Get back here, please. Come on. Come on. No. You have to come down. I can't... See, if I could fly up there to where you're at, it would defeat the whole purpose of having you around. Ready? Yep. And shift. Gotcha. Aha, gotcha. Let's go get some iron. Do I have a fence post? No, but I have something over there. I can go get one. I can. No, stay asleep. Yeah, see, I really got to do something about my graphics settings and stuff. So most of this where the chunks aren't loaded is just Bobby. I just need to fly over there to update them. But I really have to do some work on this Mushroom Island. I really do. It's just too plain looking for me. Let's reset the playlist. There we go. Got that. There's our goat farm. Our goats. And then whenever we approach the iron farm, the question is, where is Bubbles? Where is he at? Is he up there on level 1? Yeah, he is. One of these guys doesn't look like he's that scared. Okay, there we go. I was going to say. They don't seem to be spawning any iron golems, though. Okay, so Bubbles should be down here on level 2 now. And again, these guys don't seem like they're that concerned. I mean, have you seen this guy? Of course, now see, these guys are properly frightened. However, they don't seem to be doing much about it. This may be one of those deals where I'm going to have to rip up the beds and place them down again. Sometimes I need to do that. But I really wanted to see iron golems go hurling off of here. There he goes. Up there again to the top. He does the coyote hop at the top there, and then down he goes. Dudes, if you could just go ahead. I mean, we have plenty of iron in reserve. It's just fun to watch it work. All right, I think I'm gonna have to reset it. I haven't been here in ages. So sometimes, you know, to get the chunks loaded and stuff, you need to reload the chunks and stuff to get it started, so. All right. Let's stake up our friend here. Actually, you know, I think I can just go right over to the box here and just go pull it right on up. Let me see. Auto crafter should have crafted up some iron blocks. This is enough. We really just need one extra stack. Wow, I haven't been over here in a while. Too many chunks. It's too chunky. Yeah, I really love this view. You know, what's required is just to take Gastonio here and just fly around the perimeter of this ocean and reload the chunks so Bobby can then save them. Because my render distance right now is at the full 64. But yeah, we have quite a bit of work to do on the island here. So when we're ready to do that, when this laddie over here is complete, the very first thing we're going to have to do is set the shoreline all the way around. You can see where I did it a little bit here with the sand. But we're going to need that all the way around. And I've come up with a really cool pathing method. It's a little bit involved, but it's not too bad. And so I'm going to try to do that. You know, when you're making paths to make roads look natural and winding and stuff, and to try to maintain the illusion of a constant width, that's actually kind of hard to do. But I've come up with a graphical, mathy way of taking care of that. And so I can't wait to give that a try, really. There we go. Let's get down into here. We do the old triple Indy. Splash. Angel might know from where the triple Lindy reference comes from. Angel might get that one. Thunder's famous last words. I have had so many famous last words. Oh my God. I could write, you know, a series of novels and name it Thunder's famous last words. I'm not hip. You don't remember the Rodney Dangerfield movie, Back to School? Is that the one that has the triple Indy in it? I think it is. There's Lone Star Lone. Welcome on in. You all can see the auto shout out there for the mighty Lone Star. How you doing today, my friend? I'm knocking down the last of my Trooper Ale. Let's go get some haste too, shall we? What is this? Oh, that's why. Because we need to make a hole. All right. So let me see. Where am I here? 9983807. It says right here. And you know what? We should put something there, like some glass. So we know to fill that in afterwards. Thought I had a whole shulker full of... Ugh, please, with the hands, please. Let me see. I don't want to use that color glass because we've already used that. But I should have some just good old clear glass, like right here. Yeah, there it is. Let's just get like maybe 3 of them. Wow. There it is. And then we'll do that for now. That way I know I can fill those in with cobblestone afterwards. Cobble deep slate should be good. Let's see. Oh, don't answer that. You already answered. I know who Rodney was, but wasn't a big fan of. Oh, yeah. Three 12-hour shifts in a row. Wow. Yeah, so Lone Star is on a 3-day on, 4-day off kind of deal, like Mrs. Thunderhand was when she was in her early days of nursing. Yeah. Well, 12 and a half hours, but I couldn't be bothered to type it. So Mrs. Thunderhand works weekends now. So she works 2 12-hour shifts. And most of the time because she got so much seniority there now, she's got so much paid time off and she gets put on call so often that she's like working less than 70 hours a year. I mean, 70 days a year now. So she's way, way down there. Still, those 12-hour days are really tough, though. She works in the NICU and the postpartum. And she's got a bit of a commute out there and back, too. We should have some hastiness. There we are. That's what I'm talking about right there. You know what I'm saying? Four days to play Skyblocked, right? We need to do a little something like that. I think that's what needs to happen there. We've got that. This I usually keep over here like this, and then that goes there. And is this my silky? Yeah, that's my silky right there. Okay, good. Let's get to work. We have ourselves some Instamine. Of course, water's going to slow us down a little bit, but not much. Let's bring this back up again. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's do this instead. Let's bring this back down like that, and let's like that. Let's do that. That's a little better. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas, kids. You know what I'm saying? Please. So we need to do this precision work around the edge first. And once we get that established, then we can just go completely Princess Nebula on the rest of this thing. Hi, welcome on back, Dora. The one and only Lone Star has decided to grace us with his presence. What, am I out of range of that beacon? Well, how stupid was that? Oh, if I go back into range, I can just do this, all right? That's cool because actually I do need quite a bit of this stone. See, I'm going into swim mode again. It's really annoying. The sand or the dirt, I don't really need as much. I certainly don't need the granite. But the stone I do need. And I do need the stone for the rest of this build, so it's cool. Let's go rip this up here. Just kind of annoying to have to change between tools, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I just have to discipline myself to mine, move forward, stop, mine, move forward, stop. It's just working underwater like this. Flashbacks from season 4. I still think that season 4 build was probably the best build I've ever made. Yeah, I was really out to make my mark on that season. Especially since I felt I had to bow out for season 3. It's the season 4. I really wanted to establish that I'm back, everyone. So yeah, I really went all out for season 4. But we all did. The builds in season 4 are just absolutely crazy. I mean, we did some cool stuff in season 5. And we're certainly doing cool stuff here in season 6, but I still feel like we're living in the shadow of season 4 a little bit here. I have your sand. You must be talking to Lone Star there. See, if you can get the pace of the insta-mining right, you could just hold down W. And it's not continuously moving forward that puts you in the swim mode. It's W, stop, W, very, very fast. That's what puts you in swim mode. sidewalk. This is kind of nice, this stage of building, though, to do this on stream, because this is just clearing stuff, and I can just kind of relax and, you know, not think too hard. That's the goal, anyway. I'm saying I'll take your sand off of you if you don't need it. Oh, I'll have your sand. Oh, absolutely. Oh, and remember, there's still so very much sand over at the squid farm. Yeah, let me gather this up. I need to grab a shulker. But at the squid farm, in the chests up on the ridge to the northeast, on the edge of the bowl, you'll see a bunch of chests up there, and they're just packed with sand. They still have a lot of sand on them. Do I have an empty shulker, please? Please, yes, nice. There we go. Well, let's do that for right now. So we're going to do a couple of things. Since we're doing demolition, let's just do this for right now. And then I'll pack up another shulker of sand here. I forget how to get there. Dora, there's a tunnel. You go down to the south tunnel. You go past my tunnel branch, and it's right there on your right. There's a sign. It says Squid Farm. I went through great pains to make it easy to find. Well, I wouldn't say great pains. Well, I don't know, actually. It is properly labeled. I wouldn't do that to you. I'd leave directions on how to get there. Actually, the squid farm is right over there in that direction. Southwest of me. More south than west. Just grabbing the stuff off the surface here. I would do this with Gaston, but he will drown. Gastonio. And then we'll have to request a Gastonio 3. Yeah, I don't really want to pause to go grab this stuff, but I need the stone, and Dora needs the sand. So we do have to make a pause for collection. And how am I doing for time? I've got 25 minutes of the stream. I've got lots of time. How to get there. I rarely go past the XP farm. If you need sand, go right down to the end of Thunder's and Neb's tunnel. Then look through Nova. Yeah. Oh, we have a little bit of moderation to do here. Bye-bye. No solicitano. There we go. Okay, good. Let us continue, shall we? We're actually not that far off. I usually don't like to jinx myself with these kind of predictions, but I think by the end of the stream, we should be doing well. Okay. Nice, there we go. It's, you know, the changing of the tools, which is a little annoying, but it's not that bad. I've taken loads from Novas that have made it flat. Did you manage to make all of your black concrete? I have all the materials for it, but I haven't made it. I just need to do, you know, set the auto clicker and just camp out over at Shuts. Shuts and Nebs. Let's do this. Durability starting to run low. We're gonna have to switch out our tools here pretty soon. I think Nova has an automatic one now. He probably does. And you know what? I can either A, feed it my ingredients, or B, just drop off my ingredients as payment for letting me use his concrete machine. Go. Should have this leveled off in next to no time because we're actually coming into the home stretch of this. We are still going to have to dig a hole, which is going to be kind of interesting actually, because we're digging a hole underwater, and so the water needs to fill so we don't leave any pockets of running water. It has to be source blocks. So that's going to take a little bit of brain work, but not much, thankfully. Okay, so we're good there. Let us. Where is the rest of that tuff? We don't have it yet. All right, let's knock out that stuff where the tuff is going to go, and we'll put the edge in place here. We should do that with our precision pickaxe. We'll make another collection run. Okay, I think that's going to do it right there. Okay, cool. Inventory must be full, I think, by now. Let me grab some of this stuff. Sometimes it's just faster to do this with a boat if it's in straight lines, but then the boat's hard to control maneuvering-wise, so... I need to set up another double chest over here because we're going to have a lot of materials. We've got a lot of sand over there for your door right there, so... let us set up a couple more double chesties. Do I have any? Well, I have at least one more double chest. Okay, we're going to need a lot of this stone. In fact, let's do something like this. And we'll just prep that shulker for the sand. We'll do that. We'll keep this tough on us right here. That's sandstone. Right. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go take this stuff down next. Yeah, we're going to have to swap that out too. Right, like that. Fuck. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. This we need to switch out. I've got some new build projects to do. Give me a break from my mines. Just lost my camera for some reason. Okay, that's probably a Windows thing. Wonderful. Let's see. Do that. Yeah, we need to switch out the pickaxe before I got distracted by the audio. There we go. This is what I need. Here we go. We can swap that out. Like that. We're good to go. We'll pick up some of those goodies. So, Dora, what you building? You have some new build projects in mind? Or would you like those to be a surprise? If so, I'll respect that. What are you doing here? One shot kill. That's because I'm a buffoon. Should know better. Same with you. Honk. One shot kill. Okay, cool. Let's see. I've got a new project. Not a surprise. Going to build an airport and the doll mines. So need a load of sand. Is that kind of like the Maldives, the islands? I think that's the pun there, right? 3-stream streak for the one and only Lone Star. All right, let's do this. Let's switch these out. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you should make some sort of monument to them because in a few more years, because of climate change, they'll be underwater. So. Okay, so we're good. We have the entire circle sketched out now, I believe. Let's go collect this stuff because we need them. Our friends need them. It was a dark and stormy night. See, back in Season 4, I tried to have allays clean off this stuff in the surface. But then when I would try to leave the scene to maybe, like, go downtown to the shopping district or something, the allays would try to follow me, and I would never see them again. They would be lost in transit somewhere. So part of what makes the allays not very useful is they're kind of hard to manage. It's one of those things where, yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm lucky to have been twice. Pure parrot. Wow. Nice. I am envious. I've been to the Caribbean several times, though. Been to the Bahamas a few times. Let's see. One of these is sandstone, I believe. The rest of this is sand, right? Yes. Oh, please. Are you beneath me? No, you're right here. Gone aquatic, have you? Off for a little swim, have you? All right, there we go. Okay, cool. Now, I think what we should do is, and this is kind of appropriate really, is the edge of our pit here, I said would be about 3 to 5 blocks wide. So in other words, we're going to be making a disc, both today and tomorrow, on 2 different servers. Okay, so we can next move this one outward. And I'm thinking of moving it outward, like I said, about by 5. At the very least, now I'll have some natural features under the hand here, but I'm thinking this should come out to the hand, right? So we've got E, San, U, so it would come right about out to here. I could make it bigger, I guess, but the bigger I make it, the more demolition I have to do, and you know. So I'm thinking we bring this outward. So we'll increase this by 1, just like that, and now we'll go around, we'll add a little bit more. In fact, you know what I'm thinking? Is we just take off this whole feature right here, because we're going to expand outward. There's no real sense in keeping this here, so let's just take it right out. And let's start with all the sandy bits first, because Dora needs those, number 1, but number 2, they're the fastest to get rid of, so we can kind of accomplish more work that way within the stream time. Yeah, so this whole ledge is going to have to come down, this whole subterranean feature of geological feature. This whole thing's going to have to come down. Not a big deal. Most of it's hollow, right? So, but I really want to get this build done. There's so much more I want to do in the season, and we've been told that Buffoon Skies is the halfway mark through this Buffooncraft Season 6. And so I really need to get hustling, I feel, and get the rest of that island done. There are some things I want to do to wrap things up. Some farms I want to build, some features I want to build. Go. Then I just got to take a measurement. I got to see how far down, what level we need to bring this down to. Okay, standing on 46. My feet are at 46. All right, so we've got a little bit of ways to go here. Let's see. I'll do this. Yeah, we need to bring it down by about 2 more. Technically 3 more because the build features are going to be... Okay, yeah. So down to 45. Foot level 45. And we'll get that chunk over there once we're done with this. And durability-wise, we seem to be doing well. Cool. Oh, all this stuff has to come down too. Yeah, right to here. So that has to go right about there. I know I'm reaching quite far out here, but kind of want to level this off. Plus, you know, we just get more sand for our friend. Fuck with the gravel. Okay, here we go with this. You can hear some of those gurgling drowns. They're down there somewhere. We can't be bothered with them at this moment. We're all... Oh, there he is. Be gone with thee. Wow, the old netherite shovel has taken some durability. Just hang in there, netherite shovel. Hang in there. Wow, I only have 4 minutes left of the stream. That's a little sad. I was really hoping to get at least the outer ring of the... I mean, I've got the inner part of the whole edge defined. Here we're just a little too far away from the conduit, so that's why we blacked out there for a moment. But let's see how we're at here. 45. Okay, I think we're good. And that 45 out on this part is down right about here. We're getting down almost into the red zone for durability. Then when we raid out, we're going to have to come back and grab all of this so it doesn't despawn. 'Tis a mild concern. Good here. I think we're done with the sand, actually. All right, I could take that thing down. I think that's far enough away, though. We're good. All right, let's go get the spoils of battle here. Let's go collect those. Let's go empty out the inventory, and then we'll come back. And, hey, you know what? I just thought of something. We can use our Nautilus to help us gather up that stuff. That's right. He's quicker than me. And you can go grab it in bursts and everything. Yeah, let's do that. And if we go over the stream a couple minutes, we'll be fine. Okay. Where did that lead go? Way up there? Really? See how fast he moves here? We can go scoop up all that sand in no time. As long as it doesn't despawn, don't despawn. Yeah, this is how you go about cleaning up this kind of mess. Yeah, it's despawning pretty quick, too. We gotta grab as much of it as we can. Yeah, the kelp I don't care about at all. Kelp's really annoying, but... And I know it's useful for the fuel for the furnace and stuff, I get it, but... I need that right now. We do need this sand. The sand that is despawning quickly right before my very eyes. Let's go grab this little patch first. I think that's it. I think we're good. Ooh, you get away there, Puffy. You keep your distance. You and your Puffy brother there. All right. You know, we are going to need to pose for a screenshot. There we go. That's a good thumbnail. That's going to be a good one. Wonder if I can get Gastonio in the background there. There's Gaston right over there. There's Gastonio right up there. Okay, that'll make it for a good thumbnail. All right, let's go park, and then we'll end the stream here. Yeah, I wish I would have thought about that earlier. Nemo is actually a very, very useful dude for helping clean up that floating debris. He's really good at that. Great. Dora, there's a bunch of sand there if you need it. There's more over at the squid farm. Squid farm you'll see up on the, like I said, the northeast rim of the bowl. You'll see a whole bunch of these double chests. They have a lot of sandstone and a lot of sand in them. Help yourself. All right, end of the stream. Both Skip and Sage putting in the hours. Switch on over to the cam scene. Let's see what our rating situation is here. You know who I've not rated in quite some time is Buffooncraft. Let's go set up that raid. Very well. You can see up above in the chat our raid message. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you'd like to join us along on this raid. And I always encourage the viewers to join us on these raids, even if you can't stay for the entire stream. If you could just drop in and say hi, and if you feel so inclined, some bits, follow, some subs, that would be really, really cool. Let us set up the raid itself. There we go. And the raid is counting down for fellow Minecrafter and modded Minecrafter, king of all modded Minecrafters, Buffooncraft. Family-friendly viewers, just be reminded that his stream is intended for mature audiences. I hardly hear any of that stuff in there, but he's super, super cool. You'll really like him a lot. Just remember, everyone, that we do this Buffooncraft stream every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the launch of the limited series Buffooncraft Skies 2. And I may not be there at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the launch. I'll be joining a few hours later. I'll also not be streaming it. I will be recording it though, but I won't be streaming it. But the other buffoons will. So there's plenty of places that you can see that streamed live with our fellow buffoons. After that should be Sunday 4 to 6. We'll see if Kachi feels like doing Kachi time at that point. And then following that will be Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That'll be Generations, and we should be back in the Generation 5 survival world. Everybody, thank you for dropping by today. It was really cool to see everybody. And we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.